IRS Form 14950, Premium Tax Credit Verification. So if you've received this form, most likely you received it with an IRS notice, perhaps CP06 or CP06A, CP75. Some of these are IRS notices that you would receive from the Internal Revenue Service for claiming a tax credit in a situation where the IRS feels like you might not have provided supporting documentation. So basically, if you receive one of these IRS notices, then you would be expected to respond to the IRS by providing the appropriate documentation. So this form is super easy to fill out because it's only got 3 spaces for you to put your information. But what we're going to do in the video is we're going to go over the supporting documentation requirements so that you can properly respond. So let's just say that our hero, John Doe, has received a copy of this with the CP06 notice for the 2023 tax year. So the IRS will send this with an accompanying IRS notice. Let's imagine that he received IRS notice CP06. So we're going to go through this and just kind of discuss the checklist items that you need to tick off when responding to your own notice. So this is one page. It's pretty straightforward. Let's just go through some of the fine print at the top. So if you don't have the information, the IRS expects you to get it from the health insurance marketplace, insurance providers, plan administrators, or your financial institution. So if you must have purchased health insurance coverage through a health insurance marketplace. So that's either the federal marketplace or through a state marketplace. And if you didn't purchase health insurance from a health insurance marketplace, then you're not eligible for the premium tax credit. Let's back up a second. So IRS Form 8962 is the tax form that discusses the premium tax credit. Part of the premium tax credit is that if you are within certain threshold parameters, specifically if your income is less than 400% of the federal poverty line, then you would receive the premium tax credit, and you can receive advanced premium tax credit payments, which you're reconciling at the end of the year with IRS Form 8962, or you're simply filing IRS Form 8962 at the end of the tax year to claim that as a tax credit against your existing tax bill. But the requirement is whether or not you have an advanced tax credit that was paid to you before the year, or you're claiming it afterwards, you have to have purchased your health care through a marketplace. So if you obtained your health insurance from the marketplace, you should have received IRS Form 1095A. But if you received health coverage from your insurance provider or through your employer, then you would have received IRS Form 1095B or IRS Form 1095C. So let's assume that John Doe does meet the criteria. If he did not file IRS Form 8962 with his tax return, then he would need to send a completed copy. If he did, then the IRS says, hey, check it for accuracy, make sure that it is accurate, and if it wasn't accurate or if it was incomplete, send the IRS an updated copy. So then you would send a copy of your Form 1095, whichever one you received. Again, you have to have received Form 1095A to be eligible for the premium tax credit. You also would need to send records to the IRS showing the names of the individuals for which you're claiming the premium tax credit. So this could be insurance enrollment forms, invoices, statements from your insurance providers. So again, you might have received IRS Form 1095B from your insurance provider, but you would need to double check the names of of the individuals you're claiming the credit for. Then you also need to provide supporting information for the entries that you made in Part 4. In Part 4 of the Premium Tax Credit Form, this is your policy number, like allocated, your shared policy allocation. So your policy number, allocation SSN, percentages, start and stop months. So if you're sharing the tax credit with another taxpayer who's not on your tax return, the most likely scenario is for taxpayers who are co-parenting, where they're each claiming part of the premium tax credit for a child that they share together, but they're filing separate tax returns. If you filed for the premium tax credit in the year of your marriage, then you would need to make sure that you include the information from Part 5 of your Form 8962 to include your family size, start and stop months, and then the date that you actually got married. And finally, you need to submit proof that you actually paid the health insurance premiums. And there's a list of acceptable documentation to include canceled checks. If you use those, include copies of both sides, paid receipts, credit card statements, certificates of health care coverage, bank records, or other electronic records showing your direct debit. So there are no further instructions on this form because, generally speaking, you're responding to an IRS notice. So if you received an IRS notice, then you should take all of this information, follow the instructions on your notice so that you're sending the documentation to the correct location. So pretty straightforward, and we'll put links in the show notes to videos and resources we've created about some of the tax notices and tax forms mentioned in this video. So that's all we have here, but we did write an article that kind of walks step by step. You can use this as a checklist if you want. So swing on over to teachmepersonalfinance.com, type in IRS form 14950, and you'll see the article appear. So if you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. If you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, or if there's another topic that you'd like to see discussed in an upcoming video, please hit me up in the comments section. Thank you very much and have a great day.